Hey guys, welcome to the 2024 Atlanta Falcons recap. We just wanted to start off by apologizing for not doing our podcast as of regular. It was just lack of communication on our side, so we apologize for that. But going forward, we will be doing a podcast at least once a month, going to the draft and into the season. So, how do you guys feel like the season ended for us?
Do we have a parental advisor on this?
No, this is 18 or older.
Okay, okay. A fucking disappointment, to put it mildly. A massive fucking disappointment. With as much as the organization hyped up the upcoming season, the weapons we had on offense we were going to use, trying to build that homegrown, even though he's not from Atlanta, the homegrown quarterback and Ritter, it was a disappointment. I think it was poorly handled, and I'm just terrible, disappointing, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like we didn't do what we should have done. I feel like our defense played really, really well, but towards the end of the season, it went back to the same old Falcons defense, letting up big plays, not wanting to wrap up, not wanting to tackle. But I'm glad the season's over because I'm tired of watching terrible football get play, and I'm glad we made a move away from our old from the we made a change at head coach, and we'll get to that later. But I'm glad it's over.
For me, I mean, it's Arthur Smith had to go sooner than he did before. He did, allowing us to be a playoff team, did not make it. It's all on him. I mean, did we play the best? No. Did we use our players in the right situations? No. Was our defense not playing well at the end of the season? Yes. We lost a lot of key players too in defense too. But I do feel like Arthur Smith stayed a lot longer than he should have. I think it's kind of a shame on our owner and our GM for that. I think that should have been closed probably week 11, week 12 minimum, and just had somebody be interim until until the off season. So
The problem with that though is we had nobody on our roster or on our coaching staff that I feel like Arthur Blank wanted to give the interim title to earn an opportunity, and we were in the playoffs until like week 15 or 16
I mean,
personally.
I Nielsen, honestly,
Yeah, yeah, that's
let
true.
Nielsen try. I mean, Nielsen turned our defense completely around. While we ended the season on a low note, that defense played pretty, pretty damn good
Yeah.
all season for the most part. Of course, they still let up a few too many big plays, but by the numbers, they were a very, very solid defensive unit. It's kind of a double-edged sword because we played a weak schedule, very, very weak schedule.
I feel like for him, I think we should have did a little bit more to try to keep him. I know with the new regime, they want their people, but I mean, he did bring us a defense that we haven't had in a long time, and I think it's just we let a good guy, kind of a good, I would say walk, but he did get a good opportunity in Jacksonville. So I mean, can't be too mad at him for it.
Mm. I mean, just gotta do whatever's best for him. But kind of going off what you guys said, there was a lot of things that we missed this season, didn't get to see, saw too much of. Um, kind of going off the rails here. What moment in the season were you guys like, okay, this this is bad. This is bad. Like this is not going well. Like what was that moment that just shit where this
Um,
is it?
every game that we didn't get Bijan to pitch the ball.
Well, that's pretty. Do you
Well,
have
it
like do
is.
you have
I
like
mean,
one moment that you can just think of off the top of your head that just like, oh my God,
That's a good
dude.
question. I mean,
uh, I think it's just I'm gonna put it as a whole, but the way Arthur Smith acted as a coach after the game and before the game, it's like okay, I'm a coach, great. He didn't really. There's not like there's a I don't care kind of mentality, and I don't like that. I think the coaches that are being successful are the player coaches, and he is definitely not a player coach. With him going to the Steelers, I don't think he's around Mike Tomlin, which is a great head coach, but
I think he'll learn from
yeah, he'll
Tomlin.
learn. That's who what Mike Tomlin is. He's a player coach. Like that's something we were lacking. I think our season would have been a little bit different if he was a little bit better at that. But it's just I think it's the way he presented himself.
I mean, a lot of the locker room loved him as a whole for the most part. I mean, supposedly. I don't think that I don't. They may have not loved him, but I don't think they hated him. I think they. I think they genuinely like the guy. I think he may have been a player coach, kind of like behind the scenes, but I mean, he was just. I saw him as a literal great value Bill Belichick, the way he acted, just constantly trying to stick it to the media, trying to be secretive, and I'm
Whimsical.
smarter than you are. So, you know. But Brian, did you have a moment?
Yes, I literally thought of it when you were talking. Like when we lost, when losing to the Carolina Panthers
Oh,
in the
yeah,
rain, that
yeah,
was atrocious.
that was
We could have won
atrocious.
that
Hard to
game.
watch.
Very hard to watch.
It was a
Barry and I
terrible
watched it
game.
together, and it was not good.
Terrible game.
So
Terrible.
that's my moment, honestly.
The one that I remember. Oh, go ahead, Dustin.
Good. No, you're good. You good.
The one that I mean, of course, I never told you guys this because I was always every Sunday, hey, we're gonna go out there and win. We're gonna play good. We're gonna do well. We're gonna win. We're gonna, confidence every season or every game. The moment I was like, God, oh no, was when we ran a fucking pitch to Jonnu Smith, have Kyle Pitts block for him, and then try to pass it to Michael Pruitt in the end zone. And I'm pretty sure it was for a pivotal score. And I'm like, I was like, what in the hell did I just watch? We just took our tight end that we drafted at four overall, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, four overall. We took our tight end two, who had a good season. Don't get me wrong, he had a good season. And then tried to pass it to our tight end three in a must-win game. And we did that. I don't even remember the game, to be honest with you. I don't remember who it was against. But at that point I was like, okay, this is a joke. He does not he thinks he's smarter than everybody else. He thinks he's figured out some new thing. No. That was kind of the selling point for me at that point, personally.
What was his thought process in that play call?
I don't know. Maybe like, oh, they'll never see this coming.
Yeah.
I saw there was this I can't remember. It's some TikTok creator. I can't remember what her name is, but she makes like these little NFL skits, and they're so funny. And she'll bring it on, and she'll like do impressions of Arthur Smith, and she she brought him. She like was interviewing on one of them, and something came up about hunting, and it snaps to her as Arthur Smith, and she goes, when I go hunting, I don't wear orange because that's what the deer expect. I wear camouflage or something stupid like that. But just the constant, I'm gonna create this new revolutionary thing and think I'm smarter than everybody else, just didn't work. And it didn't work probably from the midpoint of the season, I would say.
No, for sure. And I said we'll talk about the coaching changes. Let's switch to that real quick and talk about the new coaching regime that's coming in. We got a new head coach, OC, and DC. So, Dustin, I'll start with you. How do you feel about the head coach, OC, and DC coming in to Atlanta? And I'll finish it up.
The OC and DC, I'm okay with that. I wish we would have kept our guy. To be honest with you, for DC, I don't think anybody we bring in is going to have the impact that he had on the players. But we'll have to see until the OTAs and stuff. But I'm fine with both of the OC and DC for sure. But a head coach, I didn't want us to pick Raheem Morris because there's better people available like Johnson and the Sowick guy from Houston. But with now them staying in their respected places, and I get why they stayed. They both have a good situation in both. I'm fine with it. I don't think he was the best available when we picked him until we found out the news of the other two. But we'll have to see what happens. I mean, he did okay when he stepped in the first time, but we'll have to see. What about you, Trey?
I'm a fan of it. I understand where you're coming from, where there may have been better candidates. I personally don't necessarily agree, mainly because the candidates that we had left, of course, Bill Belichick was always on the table. We still had to interview Ben Johnson, but I mean, Ben Johnson's going back to Detroit. Of course, we didn't know that at the time, but I kind of feel like, and then Bobby Slowick, but the issue I had with us going after Slowick was he was a 1-year offensive coordinator. The last time we did that was Smith, and we saw how that ended. It didn't end well. I think we need guys that have a little bit more experience behind them. So in this case, Morris has had head coaching experience. Did he have the greatest stint? No. But if you look at the team when he took over, his interim head coach, we were 0-5 when he took over. He ended up going 4-7 or something like that. But we were competitive in every one of those games. Every one of them.
Yeah.
Whenever he was a head coach back at Tampa, didn't have the greatest record, but he did have one season where he went, I believe it was like 10-4, 10-5, and I don't even remember who was on that. I think his quarterback was Josh McCown or something like that. If you go 10-4, 10-5 with Josh McCown, you're doing something right, or you've got a good guy next to you. I'm excited about the OC and the DC that we brought in. I think the OC is going to be really good, coming from that McVay Shanahan tree. He's going to bring a modern offense. We saw what the Rams do. Granted, they have Matthew Stafford. We don't have Matthew Stafford, but or Puka Nacua or Cooper Kupp. But I think he's going to bring that style of offense. I think that's going to be good for Atlanta. It's modernized. It's going to be able to get all of our weapons involved because we have weapons. We don't use them. We do not use them how they need to be used. I don't know much about Jimmy Lake. From what I've heard from people just that I talked to about football, he was a good DC before he ran into trouble back in college. But I don't know much about him. The head coach, just going back to that, I'm excited for it because Morris is a player coach. He's a very the player. All the guys love him. I mean, as soon as he got hired, you saw Bijan post about it. Pitts post about it. I'm pretty sure Cordell Patterson posted about it. All on the core of that team loved it. Jesse Bates posted about it. The main core of that team loved it. And I know CP wasn't really a main core last year, unfortunately, for whatever reason. But he's a player coach. He has experience on both sides of the ball. He's a defensive first guy coming from that Rams defensive coordinator spot, of course. But he's got experience on both sides. But that's why we brought in the good coordinators, because he is there to lead the guys, be the players coach, kind of how Dan Quinn was. But I don't think, he's more modernized, I feel like, than Dan Quinn's going to be, or Dan Quinn was. I think that's good for him, and just I think it's going to be good for the team. I was gonna kind of bring demographics into it, but that's just an oversaturated topic. Everybody tries to bring every sports talk show ever tries to bring race into it, which is just ridiculous because that has nothing to do with it. I don't care if you're white, black, purple, yellow, rainbow. I don't care. If you can coach, you can coach. If you can't, you can't. It's that simple.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic. I think it's going to be good. We can only wait and see, honestly. A lot of rumors of people that want to come over that played for him. He got praise from Jalen Ramsey. I don't think I've ever seen Jalen Ramsey give anyone praise as far as coaching goes. He created 2 stud DNs over there with Los Angeles. I can't remember their exact names. And then there was a DB that is from over there that he's interested. He might want to come over, or just thought of it. So, and he's coached the defense in the Super Bowl. So, yeah, did they have the greatest defense? Probably not, but he's at least got that. So, I mean, who are we to say no? Like, who are we to say no?
They had Andy Darnold. That's all that matters. They had
Yeah.
Andy Darnold.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
But I'll give you my short and sweet answer real quick.
Yeah, I didn't mean to go on that far.
No,
My bad.
Trey got long-winded, guys. So I apologize about that.
I'm
But
just
my
passionate.
That happens.
my answer is very simple. I feel like Raheem Morris is a good fit in Atlanta. I think Zach Robertson is going to do a great job as our OC. I am nervous about Jimmy Lake. He's okay. He has a lot of college experience. I don't think he's going to be the right fit. I think we maybe should have promoted the D-backs coach to D coordinator, Gray, or even brought someone else in. I just don't think he's going to be a good fit. But I am excited for the rest. TJ, we kept TJ Yates, the quarterback.
Finally moved into a quarterback coach.
Yep.
Not a wide receiver coach. He's a quarterback coach now.
Yeah, I do like that move. And then I'm just seeing where we go. I think I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the press conference whenever that is, and we'll just see what kind of excitement Raheem Morris brings to Atlanta.
I think it's the first week of February.
Yeah.
February 2nd or 7th or something like that. Yeah. But exciting things going down in the ATL. Exciting things. And we're not even to the highest part of the offseason yet.
Yeah.
No. I believe what is the biggest thing this season, including like salary cap and stuff like that? What do you think our biggest hits are going to be coming up soon with free agents, caps, and all that stuff, Brian? What's your list?
Well, right now we have 29 million in cap, projected cap. My big takeaways right now is trying to get more cap. And I just feel like when it comes to Jake Matthews, we either trade him or give him guaranteed money. Same with Grady Jarrett and Jesse Bates. If we just cut those guys in half, it's going to give us an additional 29 million. So that'd be $58 million in total cap we could do. And I was
We'd be
looking
right
also,
up there with I'm pretty sure that's how high the Raiders are.
yeah. And then you got Taylor Heineke. He's 8.5 million, and Lorenzo Carter's the other five. You can release those guys at 12 million, and that'd give us an additional almost $70 million to spend. And I feel like Raheem Morris can use that money really well, or Terry Fontenot could use that money in a good way. And we do have some pending free agents that I would love to bring back. Is Jeff Okuda, when healthy, just bring him back on a good deal. Bud Dupree, bring him back on a small deal. Keith Smith, our fullback, you got to
I love Keith Smith, dude. I
him,
love Keith Smith.
bring him back. McCole Pruitt, whatever, the tight end, third string, just bring him back. Why not? And then bring a backup tight end center, Hennessy or Nunzel. Bring one of those.
Drew Dahlman.
Dahlman's our starter, but we need a backup.
Yeah, that was Hennessy, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, in Dunzel. Dunzel played the last 2 games.
Oh, yeah.
And then re-sign Lehman, the middle linebacker. He needs to come back to our team. With him and Anderson in the middle, I'm good.
Don't forget about Ellis, dude.
Yeah,
Well, he's coming back too, but we can move him out to the outside, though. We can move him to the outside.
I think.
What are y'all
Ellis
thinking?
I think Ellis led us in tackles.
So just say we don't get rid of. I think we're gonna get rid of Heineke. So if we do get rid of Heineke, that's 8 million. So what you said 58. So we have $66 million to spend. Okay, so there's a kind of discussion there before we go put the cart before the horse. Because we have draft coming up. Do we spend it on quarterback? Do we spend it on receivers? What are we going to spend it on? My opinion, I think we need to get a good weapon in there. T. Higgins is going to be a free agent. I think he would be really nice to have around. He isn't getting the ball a lot. We're in Cincy right now. That's not his fault. Then you have OBJ could be a free agent. There was a 1-player deal. It's a 1-year deal for him. He could be someone having as a veteran presence.
Mm-hmm.
But for
I
me,
don't know if I want OBJ just because of his dad.
No, I don't want. Oh, his dad's terrible. Oh, that's awful.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's stupid. But I want to use it the right way. We can't, of course, us three. Nobody that's a fan can control the money. But I feel like with the owner that we have, he just throws it at people.
Mm-hmm.
You get $1 million. You get 15. You get 20. Like I just don't see that's going to work for us, especially when we're trying to build something. We'll start young and just move forward. Like there's quarterbacks out there, there's receivers, there's defensive players. That we need to get the people that's going to fit the system and fit what we want, not people that we think is going to be great and give them 15 million and they end up to be a turd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm there with you. I'm just looking real quick at the receivers. T. Higgins, I think would be a great asset would be a good asset, a great asset. I just think he's going to get max money, and I think Carolina, Raiders potentially could sign him. But I see guys like Tyler Boyd, Curtis Samuel.
Would you guys trade or try to get like Devontae Adams from them? If we get
Adams isn't leaving, he's not leaving Vegas. He won't. Their owner has made it pretty clear that he's not leaving. Even if he refuses to play, he's not trading him. He's pretty much untouchable, which I've never understood that. If a player wants to leave, let him leave.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
There's a lot of good receivers out there, but I think we have a edge problem, a defensive end problem, and there's a lot of great veterans out there in free agency. So I would want us to attack that early and quick, and then by the draft, if we don't have that, then I would want us to pick a D end. But there's a lot of options out there. We potentially got a lot of money to spend, and I think we'll spend every dime of it.
I agree with that. I'm really against drafting an edge on the draft, and because of how many edge players are available in the free agency. Just to name a few, we have Leonard Williams. He's going to be a free agent. Daniil Hunter I'm pretty sure he was leading the league in sacks for a little bit there last year.
Mm-hmm.
Carl Lawson's out there. He's okay. We got Marcus Davenport's out there still. Zadarius Smith. Some of these guys, they're a little older. They wouldn't really they would kind of just be like what's the word I'm looking for?
Leonard Floyd's out there. Josh Allen
yeah.
from the it looks like from
Jags,
the
yeah.
Jags is out there. Brandon Graham from Philly, but he'll probably return to Philly. Brian Burns from Carolina is available.
I don't. If Carolina are they really gonna let Burns walk?
I don't think Burns wants to be there. I don't think he wants to be there.
I feel like what they will do is I don't know if they can keep tabs on who he's talking to, but like if it comes to where he's gonna go to an in division team, they'll match it.
Who's gonna be our franchise tag?
That's a good question.
That's something too that we think. I think it's gonna be a key player. It's gonna be. I mean, Jeff Okudah. I bet it's gonna be Jeff Okudah. Franchise tag him.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Cordell Patterson personally. And the reason I say that is because I just feel like Atlanta loves him. I think Arthur Blank likes him as well. And
he's done more recruiting to Atlanta than anyone else has done.
Yeah.
Anybody. Any big name free agent you see is like a free agent. You see him on social media saying, "Hey, come to Atlanta. You'll love it. Come to Atlanta. You'll love it. Come to Atlanta." I don't know if we'll franchise tag him. I really do think he would agree to come back on a small contract just because I think he genuinely loves it in Atlanta. I mean, he said he loves it in Atlanta.
And he's getting older too. He's getting a little older. He was hurt a lot last year, so I think that's somebody. I do think Jeff Okudah will get the tag for sure. Who is your guys' number one free agent that you guys want?
Danielle Hunter, probably.
I'll say Hunter. Yeah.
Hunter or or Burns, one of those two.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw out here and I know he's having issues right now in his current team, but Chase Young, the D end. I know he has loafing issues. I know he has that, but he's only 24 years old, about to be 25.
Yeah, and he's about to be 25 and unemployed at that point.
We're about to give him, if we can give him a 4-year deal, give or take, get him excited, put him in the black, red and black. I think he'd be a good asset to the team. And then honestly, at receiver, like I'd be happy if we got Tyler Boyd or T. Higgins or Michael Pittman Jr. is available.
So you said Michael Pittman Jr. or Boyd. What do you use them to, for example, right? So is our guy the one, or is he not going to be the two? Bringing one of those guys in.
I say if Higgins comes in, he'll be the one. Because we're going to pay him max money. Yeah, if we got to pay him the money. But like Tyler Boyd, 2. DJ Chark, 2. London, if he can catch the ball and stay healthy. Yeah. But no, there's a lot of receivers out there. I think we should draft a receiver in the draft.
Who do you want to draft? Who do you want to draft, Brian?
Lads McConkey, baby, from the University of Georgia. Late day 2, late day 2. Love it.
Go ahead.
I just think he'd be a good fit. The receiver from Florida, the Parcell or whatever his name is, he's good. And we just need someone like a Cooper Kupp, a Puka Nacua. We have a Puka Nacua in Drake London. He could be that guy if we can get someone to give him the ball. In my opinion,
he's a good rat.
They have the same body type.
We used him wrong. Smith was using him as like he's a rack guy. He's not. Mm-hmm. He's not. I mean, if you saw like on short passes when he got the ball, he was tough to bring down.
He was trying to bring plays down.
Yeah, he was tough to bring down. But then, I can't believe you didn't say Rome in there, honestly.
Rome Odunze?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm cool. Like we have so many veterans in the draft or in the free agency, and the receiving every year is deep. Puka Nacua was a 6th-round pick. What? Like, and he's the best rookie. So I don't want to take a receiver that early unless it's like a Rome Odunze or a Marvin Harrison Jr. But they won't be there.
He's going to drop to 8.
If he drops to 8, we're taking him. We should. There's
no way he will.
So, Brian, you said we said Hunter or Brian Burns. You said who for your free agent?
He said Chase Young.
I said Chase Young.
Really quick. Sorry, Dustin. Chase Young. You said bring Chase Young and get him excited, right? Get him ready to go. He is on a mother effing team playing in the damn Super Bowl. What other excitement can you bring somebody?
I don't think he likes being number 2.
Well,
He'll be number
sorry,
1 in
you got
us.
Nick Bosa on the other side. I hate to
Yeah.
tell you.
I think it's all attitude. I think it's him being. I think he wanted to leave Washington.
I mean, he
And
was number 2 in Washington, honestly.
Yeah, and he got pushed to another good team, which is fine. I mean, that Chase Young is super young. I just think he just keeps getting pushed to be number 2, and he wants to be number 1 guy. So when you're number 2, you can. I mean, no one's watching you until the NFC Championship, and the videos go over that you kind of suck there, bud. You were kind of just lollygagging around.
Yeah.
Gotta prove,
Well,
gotta earn it, man.
If he was
Chase
Young last year, the year before, I would I'd die for him. But just 25 years old, let's get him on a good deal and bring him in. About that real quick, I'll ask you both this: Chargers are not our team, but their salary cap is in shambles. They're negative like $55 million. Would you guys?
The Aints 2.0.
Would you guys be okay if we traded for Khalil Mack?
He's just so old, man.
Yeah, he's older now. I think he's past his prime years.
He played good this season, but like, we already had an old D lineman, Calais Campbell.
Yeah, he's got.
I don't ever want to see his dirty bird dance again.
Do it, Trey. Do it, Trey. Do it.
I do think Calais doesn't need a return. I don't think we need to get him. I think he is a waste of a little bit of money there too. He did have a good season this year.
He was a good interior guy.
Yeah,
I'll give him that.
He was good, but man, after 2 plays, man, he's just dead. Like he's gone. Like, dude, your legs are done. Like, hang it up. We appreciate all the love, but gotta go.
The depth we have at our interior line, though. Well, I mean, we don't have a ton of depth. So don't get me wrong, but I don't think he'd be bad in a show to keep on and just like let him come in every few plays and come and play. Let him play those 2 plays and take him out because inside they got Jarrett. He was injured. He's going to be coming back. Onyemata played really well.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Harrison, he had a game or 2 where he was. I think he may be a D end.
No, he's a D tackle. He's from
D tackle. Yeah. He had a game where he had 2 or 3 sacks.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I'm with you there. No, I'm with you there. I just think. I mean, I just don't want. I want us to make sure we put the right money. Yes, you use him every once in a while, but we can move on from him if we need to. I don't think he's worth keeping if we don't have to.
Another thing really quick about Chase Young, and then I'll shut up. He's only 24, but realistically, being the 2nd overall pick, he's not been that good. He really hasn't.
Inconsistent, very inconsistent.
I know he was dealing with injuries his first year, but his career high in sacks 7.5. That was 2020. That's good, yeah, but since then he's had 1.5, 0.
He was injured 1 year. He was injured all season.
Yeah, I think that was the year. I think that was 2022. Yeah, he played 3 games. So he's battling injuries. I don't want to call him a bust because he's so young, but being drafted 2nd. Yeah, if you're drafted 2nd overall and your best season is 7.5 sacks,
you're doing something wrong.
On the Commanders' defensive line, that line was good.
One player I'll throw out too, and I know everyone knows I'm a Chiefs hater, but Dana, the D end from Kansas City, he's gonna be a free agent this year. He's been playing really, really well in Kansas City, but they might bring him back. But that's another player too I wouldn't mind.
That whole defense is well improved.
100%. They're getting better. They're getting better and better every week. So
yeah, they are.
But yeah, I think that's really good players we could talk about for sure. Our next topic is going to be the draft coming up. We have a total of 7 picks this year. Maybe we might get some more, but we're going to talk about the first 3 to 4 picks. It's going to be a little harder for Trey. He's not a big college football fan, so he might not throw some players out there. But with Brian and I, we do watch college football quite a bit. I'm gonna have Brian started off with the draft, what his plan's going to be, and we'll go Trey, and I'll end it with that.
I'm starting to watch college football. Let that be known. I'm trying to,
and we appreciate that.
Yeah, we do, and hopefully you can give us an update in the middle of the season how you feel about it. But 8, the first pick's a really hard one for me. We can either go best available, quarterback, stuff of that nature. But if I had to say right now, not talking about free agency, if Drake May or Jalen Daniels falls to us at 8, I think we draft them. If they do not drop to us at 8, we take best available, and I'm I'm hoping it's a receiver to add to our receiving core because we need some receiving help. We only have Drake London is the only real player on our roster with a contract. With our second round pick, this is going to a receiver again. Lads McConkey from Georgia would be an awesome asset to our team. Like I said earlier, I think he'd be great for us. And then, honestly, our third pick, I would say a DN or an outside linebacker because we do need some edge help. So someone from like Florida State or something of that nature to get us bolster up that defensive line a little bit. Trey, what about you, bud?
Well, like you guys said, I don't know very many college players. I do know the kid from Georgia though, just because I saw my Twitter was absolutely lit up with highlights from him over from his pro day.
Shaking it, baby.
Yeah, yeah, he was shaking that shit, dude. He was shaking that shit.
What's it? Lad
McConkey.
What's his
Lad McConkey.
McConkey? Yeah,
Lads. Yeah.
yeah, I'd be good with. I think we'd see him in the second round. I'd be good with going after him. As for our 8th pick, I was talking to Brian a little bit about a trade that I just had an idea of. Or are we talking about trades right now, or just straight up picks?
Do you think?
Either or.
Okay.
All floor is yours.
Oh, the pressure. I personally, I know, Dustin, you're not super high on the quarterbacks. Brian, I know you're kind of hit and miss with them. If it's not Drake May, it's terrible. But
Or Caleb Williams, but
or Caleb Williams. But I personally, I want to draft a quarterback because I'm full on with this youth movement, man. We have two very young running backs, very young receiver, young tight end. You know, the eldest of those 3 or the 4 technically, I'm pretty sure it's Pitts because he's going into his 4th season. I want to say, yeah, 4th season. Eldest of that group. Other than that, they're young. I am all about the youth movement. With the OC coming in, he's going to bring in a modern offense. Bring in a guy that you can build that offense with. Get him in there. Have him learn it quickly. Because I think any quarterback, any player can be successful if they're inserted at the very beginning around them. Let me rephrase that. Not any player, but a majority of players can be inserted into it and be successful. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, last pick in the draft. No one expected him to do anything. He's balling right now. Gonna play in the Super Bowl. Do you think when he got drafted, they're like, yeah, this guy's gonna be the quarterback of the future? No, absolutely not. But that offense is tailor-made for him to succeed. Shanahan runs it how he knows he can run it with Brock at the helm. Granted, they have a lot of weapons. They have a lot of weapons and a lot of good people. A lot of very good team. But I think that not exactly that kind of thing can happen, but something similar. I think every player that comes in can succeed if they're put in the right situation. So I'm high on us going into quarterback. I'd love to see Daniels come to Atlanta. I think he'd be a good fit there with that offensive style. If Caleb Williams, for whatever reason, dropped to 8, I would not be against going after him. He's not going to drop to 8, but I would not be against that at all. He's got an attitude problem. Gonna have to get that hashed out. But I think if you're able to get around that, he's talented. He's the best. People are calling. He's the best prospect since Luck. People are comparing him to that. So I mean, he's got the talent. I don't necessarily think that. I don't know, but that's what a lot of people have compared him to. And then after that, I don't know much about. I don't want to draft an edge.
Needs.
I know that.
Needs. What do you think our needs are for?
We definitely need an edge. I don't want to draft one just because there's so many in free agency. We probably need a little bit of
safety help.
We need a little bit of safety help. I think Bates is doing excellent things back there, but Richie Grant is just not.
He needs help.
Richie Grant is not.
Yeah.
He's not doing it. He's not doing it for me. He's not doing it for us. The trade, really quick, I was going to mention. I told Brian about it. I said the Patriots, they're picking 3rd, I do believe.
Mhm.
Yeah, 3rd. They lost their really good tackle. I can't remember his name. He's going to walk in free agency most likely. I could not see him going back. So what I was suggesting, they also need a quarterback. That's probably what they're going to draft at 3. I was telling Brian, I was like, we need to see if we can package Heineke and Matthews in our 8th, maybe a 3rd or something like that for their 3rd. Or so not like our 3rd round
for
pick.
the third pick. For the third pick.
For their 3rd pick. and get our quarterback that way because Williams will be there. If he's not picked one, he'll be there. May will be. We'll have our choice of quarterbacks
No,
if we
because
really wanted to
Washington's
get one.
too.
Is Washington going to get a quarterback though?
Mm-hmm.
If
Look at
if
May.
if the Bears don't go with a quarterback because they're going back and forth every day whether or
So
not they want
the
Fields or
thing
not.
is we don't even know who it's a lot's riding on 3
What
through
the-
10 because of what 1 or 2 are going to do.
Mhm.
One might not even go quarterback and trade it with somebody. There's rumors that we're trading for number 1 for us, Atlanta.
Who are we giving up?
We're not giving up nobody. We're giving up first round, and like a third.
Giving up the house?
Yes, yes,
Uh,
and
okay, I'll do
and
mine.
yeah,
Hmm.
but I'll go to you here a second. But I have another idea. If we trade, because Raheem Morrison, Southern California, for most of his time, that's where Caleb Williams played. And I don't want Caleb Williams myself. I don't want him. I would rather trade for Justin Fields. I'd rather them take him and then us get Justin Fields. But another idea that I have was take a best available at whoever's there at 8, and then towards the end of the first, either trade back into it or trade up in the second round to get a player like Bo Nix, JJ McCarthy, or even Michael Penix Jr.
I do not want JJ McCarthy within 100 yards of an Atlanta football field.
I didn't interrupt you when you're talking about your trades. Excuse me. I'm just kidding.
Hey, I'm not trading either, so I'm ready to go.
JJ McCarthy would be a good fit. I think Bo Nix would be a great fit because he can use his legs. They both can, personally. All three can, honestly. And I think that they can start day one. You keep Ritter there for unfortunate reasons because he's still in his rookie deal. And then you ride off in the sunset. But imagine getting Roma Dumze with Drake London and Bo Nix or JJ McCarthy with Bijan, Pitts, and Algier. Like, I can't stand up. You know what I mean?
Whatever rookie we bring in, they're going to be somewhat put into a decent situation because they have a good run game.
Yeah.
Rookie quarterbacks always succeed better when
and
they
our
have
offensive
a really
line's not terrible. Offensive line's not terrible. Our left side needs a lot. Our left tackle needs a lot of work. But Bergeron, right guard, center,
don't you hate on Matthews? He watches this podcast, you know.
Hey, come on.
I'm gonna get. Since he wasn't gonna tell me that before we started today, but I told him I wanted a real reaction to that trade. I think that trade is atrocious. I think sending.
It's okay.
Listen.
It's okay.
Going up to 3 to get someone that we may not work out for us and getting rid of our best lineman. I think is ridiculous.
He's old, man, and he's.
I get it. He is expensive. We need to restructure his deal, like we talked about earlier. But I think here's the 2 things we should do in the first round. We either trade back from 11 to 15, some of those guys need quarterbacks, trade up and get an extra second or third round pick, or trade for Justin Fields based on what the Bears do. If the Bears draft Caleb Williams, we should be calling the Bears like instantly as soon as they. On the first round pick of the 2024 draft, the Chicago Bears selects Caleb Williams. We need to be on that call, trading our first this year. Our first this year, our first next year, and like Heineke or something like that. Throwing some money in there. The only reason why he's still on his rookie deal, he's cheap.
Okay, fantastic. But I am not willing to give up 3 first round.
I didn't say 3 picks. I said a first this year, a first next year, and like a third or fourth, like years down the road.
I will give you guys our first this year and maybe a second next year. That's all I'm willing to give for him.
Well, then you're gonna get maybe a bag of chips for that.
Yeah, they want first round picks today. They've already said that.
They're either they want multiple for Fields for whatever if they trade Fields, they're gonna want multiple. If they trade the first round pick, it's gonna be a historic trade package. Even if Caleb Williams isn't the guy or Drake May is not the guy. It's going to be crazy. There's going to be probably three first round picks in that.
Yeah, so you guys don't want to do that?
No.
I wouldn't mind getting Justin Fields. That's an option. I'm not saying to do that, but I would like to have Justin instead of drafting somebody.
Yeah, I'd love Fields.
That's either get Fields if they get him or draft the best available 8. The second round pick. If we don't get the second round pick, get an edge or get like Kool-Aid McAllister or something like that from Alabama or somebody from the SEC in defense. Third round, the 74th pick or 79th pick, draft Bo Nix, draft a quarterback, draft somebody that we can develop. I think.
What happened the last time we drafted a third round quarterback?
Didn't
His
work
name
out.
was Desmond Ritter.
Didn't work out. But we can have a time to develop him. If we get a good veteran, I think Justin Fields could. I wouldn't say develop Bo Nix, but I think that would be a really good young group to have for a while.
Well, realistically, we can't develop Bo Nix because he's already 27, and same with Michael Penix.
27?
Holy
20,
shit.
I think so. Let me
I thought it was
look.
like 25. I thought it was like 25, 26.
Maybe I'm wrong, but he's
We
been.
we drafting Kurt Warner?
Hey,
Let's
Kurt Warner won a Super Bowl, so I don't mind.
Oh, I lied to you. He's 23.
Oh,
that's-
damn.
Where did you
I
get
thought it was
20?
Holy
I thought it was
shit.
27. Is
He's
it?
not
Yeah.
Stetson Bennett,
So,
Brian.
Bo,
Chill
if you
out.
watch this podcast, we apologize. He put 4 years on your life. But no, I think a lot of trades should happen with us. We have a couple gaps we need for courses like safety and D, like you guys said. That's a need for us. But if something occurs with Justin Fields, or even at 8, if no one's there, I still think we should draft the best available. I think we can get somebody, like we can trade somebody for like maybe like Kirk Cousins or Drew Brees or something like that. I would be okay with that, especially like a 1-year deal, something like that. I mean, next year's draft quarterbacks are not great, but hey, we'll just
They're
have
bad.
to see how their college career turns out to be.
Another quarterback I'll throw out there, Sam Hartman from Notre Dame.
Yeah, he can run. He's not terrible.
Yeah.
But no, I just think our draft is gonna be super crucial to this new regime that we have to make sure we're going the straight and narrow, not all curvy like Arthur Smith.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
With what you said that he's our players coach, Raheem Morris should know who to draft. Should be no question. It shouldn't be a discussion with 5 players, 10 players. Should be 2 or 3 players that are available and select them. Make the right decision for our team, move forward, and just get next pick to the same thing. Next pick to the same thing.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say here, we can end it here, is I'm glad that Arthur Blank is given Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris the control of the team, and Trey's favorite person, McKay, away from the team, because I don't think he's good for player personnel reasons.
He's just going to be behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I think that's a big reason why I feel like Belichick didn't come, because everybody in that organization was like, "Don't bring him. He's going to kick us. We're not going to have any power," which sucks. But I also didn't want Bill Belichick because he would take control of everything. Which, don't get me wrong, Super Bowl champion coach, he did great things. I think he's a little outdated, just a little bit.
Right. It hasn't been picked up yet. Who's the only team available right now that doesn't have a coach?
Washington.
He could go to Washington with Eric Berlinme.
Because McDonald signed with the Seahawks.
Did he?
Great pick for them. Yeah.
Oh well, he got the job. That's awesome.
He's the youngest coach in NFL right now. He's 38.
Good for him.
But
real quick before we end it, I kind of want to attack some of these points, if you don't mind. We're gonna get a quarterback, whether you guys like it or not. There's no way we don't, because I think Robinson, him and Morris are close. Of course, that's why Robinson came over here. Great pickup. I think he's a great pickup. He's going to want a quarterback to start his offensive system with, to build his offensive system. He's going to want a fresh mind to come in. This is the first system you're picking up. I want you to study it, live it. What'd you say?
Justin Fields.
I would love Justin Fields. Don't get me wrong.
I'm telling you that we need.
Here's the thing. I would absolutely love to see Justin Fields in the Atlanta block. Okay, I would love it. I would go buy a jersey immediately, a stitched. I don't care. The most expensive. I'd do it immediately. I would love to see it, but I don't think the Bears are going to move off of him. And if they do, they're going to charge a blowy, everything possible. Everything they can throw on there, they're going to do, because they're going to get their money's worth. If with all the young guys in the draft, I keep hearing you guys say, "Oh, he can use his legs. He can use his legs." You know who one of the best ones in the draft is at using their legs is? It's the one you don't want us to draft, Dustin. It's that guy at LSU, one of the best ones at using his legs, and he's got a good arm. Say it with me now. What's his last name?
Daniels.
Exactly.
It's not that I don't like Daniels himself. I just don't think he's our guy.
Right. I hear you.
Daniels is a great player. I'm not taking away from him. No. I just think
it's all about scheme. It's all about fit.
It's all it is. And we find out when we find out what offense we're going to truly run here, and like when they do their press conference, then we'll have more discussion coming up on who quarterback. If it's Jalen, then great. Jaden. If it's him, perfect. If it's Bo, perfect. Penix, whoever it may be. I want to know what scheme we're running first and how we're going to run it. If it's the West Coast offense, any other quarterbacks in the draft can run the West Coast offense just fine. Besides Sam Martin, maybe.
So I'll say this about Jaden real quick, and then we can end it. Is he only had one good season? Really good season. He threw for 40 touchdowns this year with 4 interceptions, which is awesome. But the year before, 17-3, 10-10, 5-1, and 2020 he didn't really play, and then 2019 he played 17-2. So it's like he had a great season, but the rest were just okay.
Kind of like a breakout season.
This draft discussion could go for hours, and I mean, I would trade. Hopefully, gonna be watching the college football this year a little bit more than he did last year. I think it'll be more of a discussion like with players' name and players and stuff to watch. But we appreciate everybody watching. This is hella fun. It's good to get back to it. Good to talk about our team. We're going to be posting on TikTok again. We're going to be doing a podcast. We don't have like a legit schedule yet. We're going to play it by ear. We might do like a quick one over the press conference. We might do like a pre-draft one, stuff like that. I will be live streaming the draft, but you can't see the screen, but I'll be on it. Maybe Trey and Brian might join for a little bit and talk about it, but I'm excited for what we're going to be doing. I think it's a good fresh start for us. I think we have some good plans coming up. And if you guys have any ideas, anything you want us to talk about, if it's Falcons or whatever it may be, drop them down in the comments. Like, subscribe for us. We really appreciate it. And we appreciate you guys watching it for sure. Peace out.
Go Falcons!